Hi guys! I'm here with a review of a cosplay from a website called RoleCosplay, and the cosplay is of Qiqi, I think that's how you say her name, from Genshin Impact. RoleCosplay was kind enough to send me a cosplay in exchange for a review and some photos, so that is what I am doing. RoleCosplay also sent me a discount code for you guys to use if you wanted anything off their website for yourself. That discount code is Arlena. I will have it written down in the description below, and it is for 12% off of your entire purchase. I will also have a link to their store down below. It is a referral code, so if you do purchase through it, it helps my channel and cosplaying and tutorials and stuff like that. So first things first, they sent me a wig to go with the cosplay, which is the wig that I am wearing. It's $15 or so on their website, which I think is a pretty good price. It is a very affordable, super inexpensive, cheap wig. It's similar to the price range of many wigs that you would find on eBay and even Amazon, and I am pretty happy with it. It's not too thin, it's not super thick either, but for her cosplay it doesn't really need to be. It's not like thin enough to see the wefts through or anything. I'll turn around just to double check in the back here. So there are a few wefts showing through, however I did notice there are shorter layers that are meant to cover that I had accidentally just brushed out of the way. So that's what it looks like from the back. It already comes braided, by the way, which I really liked because a lot of the times photos will show the wig like styled, but then they don't come styled. You have to style them yourself. They'll just come at like the length you need it to be. This comes pretty much styled just straight off the bat. It has like the short layers all around the face here and then these two longer layers. It also has the bangs mostly parted the way that you need them to be parted. However, the bangs are longer than this. I think they were at about to here on me, and bangs on wigs always come long because people have like different sizes of foreheads and faces, and it needs to be able to fit a variety of those, so usually you're probably gonna have to trim the bangs when you get a wig no matter what. I had to trim off about this much of the bangs, and then I just parted it a little bit more to pull these into the center. I'm really happy with it. I think for $15, having a wig that's pretty much styled to the point you need it is a good price. It's a quality of a $15 to $20 wig, so... Alright, now on to the cosplay. It's wrapped in just a bag, like one of those mailing bags that a lot of companies will ship especially clothing items in, and it came with all of her accessories, the costume of course, and the hat, which I guess also counts as an accessory. So I have already worn this costume, I've taken photos of it, I've recorded what will be the end of this video. The first things first, I have the stockings here. You get two. One has the print of the, I don't know what they're called, but the papers she has stuck kind of all over her. She has one on her leg or on her stocking, and for that side they've just printed it onto the sock itself, so it's not like a separate piece you need to stick on or anything like that, which I don't mind. It's printed on well, so no real complaints here. The stockings also have like these lines and this fake shading to make it look like it's wrapped, because she does look like at least part of her stocking is like bandages wrapped around. The only issues I had with the stockings is that they were a little too long for me because I'm very short, I'm 5 foot, so if I was to pull these all of the way up on me, they came up to like the very top of my thigh. There would be like no gap between the shorts or the stocking whatsoever. Other than that, they have the normal issue of stockings that just fall down when you walk a lot. Thigh-high stockings are going to do that, especially when they're made from material like this or don't have like a little grippy thing. But with that said, you can totally buy like, I'm pretty sure there's stick-on grippy stuff that you can buy and just stick it to the inside and it will help it just stay in place better. They send you little tiny earrings that are like little pom-poms, and they are clip-ons, so you don't even have to have your ears pierced to wear them. They're really cute. My only note is that you'll probably want to be careful when opening and closing these. Just make sure when you're pulling it apart, you're not pulling on the pom-pom and then pulling this clasp open, but you're holding the other half of the metal clasp and then pulling it open. Just because if you pull on the pom-pom and then try to pull this open, you're probably going to tear the pom-pom off of the metal clasp. They also send the little clip that goes in her hair. It's pretty cute. It's like a little metal coin almost, and it is just stuck onto a little small hair clip. So yeah, usually instead of sticking it this way, because that is where like the big end is, I will actually stick it in the opposite direction so that you can see the clip and I can kind of hide this little part that sticks out here. Next thing they send is a bow, the bow that goes like at the top of the braid back here. And again, it is also on just a small little hair clip like this, and it is pretty cute as well. It's got like this nice gradient on this tassel, and the bow is actually like really well made. It's double layered and it keeps it shaped pretty well because it's made from a more stiffer kind of material, and yeah, I just really like it. It's a nice little well-made bow. I'm really impressed with the quality. It's pretty good. It's pretty nice. All this stuff looks well sewn, and they pick some nice materials to make this all out of. You also get sent 3 of these. One is on the costume, so you'll see that in a bit. These are the 2 that go like this. I think it's in the back. From what I can see from pictures, it looked like this one sits in the back of her hair. So if I did that wrong, I'm sorry, but that is what I kind of saw going on there. There's no real way to secure it to her head or a hat. I used bobby pins. I simply just put 2 bobby pins on each one and an X-shape to hold it in place. But you can also just take like a safety pin or even a sewing pin and just pin it to the hat itself if you wanted to. And they come so that one side has one pattern and the other side has a different pattern. I think this pattern here is for her hat set, is pattern that her hat has, and the pattern on the other side is the one that is on the sleeve. So I think it's kind of nice that they just made it so that they have all of them have all of these, so that one side isn't necessarily blank in case it does ever show on camera, but then you don't really have to sit there and like look through to figure out like which one you need. You could just grab any one and just flip it whatever way you need it to be. And again, these are pretty well made too. I'm pretty sure they're double layered from the looks of it, and then they're nicely sealed and sewn all around the edges. Since I just grabbed this, I guess I will show the hat. This is the hat. I really like the hat. I think it's super cute. I'm so happy with this. It is adorable. It's got this detailing on the side here with this big fake gem. And there is a little bit of hot glue residue from where they've glued it on, but you can easily pick that off. The printing is in the fabric again, which is nice. It's got this big little crystal thing here. And this is also hot glued into place, and you can definitely see some of the hot glue around here. It's nothing that's going to bother me. You're not going to see it. Like, it's not going to show up from any sort of distance, really. Like, holding it here, you don't really notice it. And plus, it's on your head. It's not that big of a deal. It's got a nice tassel, too. It looks really fancy. And it actually fits. That is one of the best parts. So, because her hat sits kind of like back and whatnot, I was like, ooh, how am I going to get this to stay on my head, because there's like no combs or anything on it. But if you just push this down onto your head, at least for me, it sits like this. I don't have to worry about it falling off. I mean, like, if I start like moving around a lot, I'm sure eventually it will loosen up and pop off. It's super cute. I like that it stays on. I like that it stays on with it being tilted kind of back, and I don't really have to worry about it falling off or anything like that. And time for the last accessory before I get onto the costumes, and that is this right here. This is the necklace. Again, it has a really nice tassel with a really nice gradient on it. This bow is pretty well made too. they used like the actual like rope that I imagine this would be made out of. They've got all these pretty little beads in between these plastic balls, and all of these balls on her costume are like those ball pit balls. That's all they are. They're really lightweight, which is nice because I doubt you want a lot of heavy parts, especially when you're trying to pick more comfortable cosplay like this one was. My only complaint with this is because it is shipped in a bag, this gets crushed in shipping. And by crushed, I mean like when I got them, all of the balls looked like this. So unlike this ball right here, which isn't going to crush because there's no hole to let the air out of, these do because they have two holes at either end where the string goes through. So a kind of tricky way to fix this and a little bit of hassle is one, try to pop it out as much as you can just to start with, just by pressing around the little edges that have been smushed. And then take one finger and lightly cover the hole. Don't press into it because then you're just going to smush it again, but like lightly cover the hole on one end, and then trying to adjust and move all the other balls out of the way while you're doing this, blow into this hole and like blow it back up, basically like it's a balloon. And there you go. It's popped mostly back into shape. There might be a few dents here and there in it. It's not going to be quite perfect. That is what I did to pop all of these balls back into shape. The only ball that wasn't super crushed was the big one here. Okay, next up I have the shorts. This is what they look like. They actually weren't too bad in length. They were a tad bit longer than I would like them to be, but I am pretty short, so it's to be expected. It happens with every article of clothing, and they were nowhere near as bad as some pieces of clothing that I've gotten. These shorts are pretty simple. Her shorts are simple in design though, and they're made from the same material that all of the other fabric is made out of, and I don't mind it at all. I think this material is pretty nice for store-bought cosplays and much, much better than like the fake satin material that I've known a lot of cosplays, especially in the early days of it all, were made out of. Is much nicer, a much more like sturdier feeling. It has an elastic waistband, so it's got some flexibility in sizing, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to sit at like your waist, like high-waisted, or not. On me, it's at high-waisted. However, that is all the height that this has to it. So if you are a taller person, it might not be high-waisted on you. It might sit someplace in between your waist and your hips, but you don't see the top of this at all, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem or anything like that. Literally just see the bottom part of the shorts. We have a dress next. On the photos on their website, it shows that there flares out, and sometimes it doesn't quite flare out the same way. This does pretty much the same way. I like the way that this is sewn and made and the shape that they have to it, so it tapers in like this towards your waist, and then it flares out, and it extra flares out because it's actually pleated along the bottom here. It has these pleats. They're large pleats, but they're still there, and they help give a little bit of an extra poof to the bottom, and I really, really love that. I think it's such a nice detail. I think it also mimics the slight frilliness that her costume has along the bottom as well. I'm really loving the silhouette that they have given to this dress. And then attached to this, it also has these panels that go along the front of her dress. The thing also came with several of these little thingies that you stick around her costume, and it sticks on using a safety pin that you just pin it into place yourself. These are all lined. By the way, this dress is one layer, but these little panel things are lined, so they're black on the back. So you can totally stick this in just the lining and it won't show through at the front. It also fits true to size. I followed the measurements on their sizing chart and it fits perfectly. So definitely look at the measurements on their sizing chart and measure yourself and order the size that lines up with your measurements. Don't order off of the sizing like small, medium, large to match up with whatever you normally buy, because these aren't American sizing. I'm pretty sure this is Asian sizing, so they run smaller than normal. Usually I wear a US medium and this is a size large, but it fits perfectly, and the measurements on the website are the ones that were closest to my measurement. On to the final piece of the costume, which is this jacket. This is what the jacket looks like. Same material as all the other fabric pieces. It feels really nice, really well made, nicely sewn. It's layered as well around like the body part of the jacket and this little capelet part and the little tails that are here. On the sleeves there are these little pieces again that you just safety pin into place. There is also this third like fake paper thing. It doesn't come with a way to attach it, so you are going to have to figure out how to do that to yourself. You can either just sew it into place with a couple stitches or do what I did and use a safety pin. The jacket opens and closes with these little things at the front here, and they feel pretty sturdy and pretty well made, so I'm not worried about them coming off or coming loose or anything like that. On the back is another little accessory that it comes with that again attaches via a safety pin. The back also has the same thing as that front piece had on the dress, and two more of these little things that I safety pinned again to the lining layer. And then it has these two extra capes. So something that I added because it does not come with this, and looking at reference photos I saw that she had this, are these little orbs at the very bottom. They're pretty big orbs, so I'm pretty sure that's why it doesn't come with it. They've been using like these plastic balls for all of the balls on her costume. There's probably just not one this size, and it probably would make it harder to ship and whatnot, so instead I went ahead and just painted a clear plastic fillable ornament and then just used a couple stitches to sew it to the very bottom of that. Not a big complaint because it was easy enough to add, and I can see why it was probably left out of the costume. But yeah, this is what the cape looks like. On the other side it's pink with this diamond to match her design. Again, this fits really well. The sleeves flare out really nicely and they look so pretty when you put your arms up like that. The collar sits nicely. By the way, I should note that because sometimes collars flop down. This sits nicely, this sits up, and it's double layered. And yeah, I'm just super impressed. The colors, by the way, on like all of these pieces are perfect. They're so great. They match the character. They are so vibrant and like just really pretty, nice shades. And yeah, I think that covers all of the pieces. So overall, I'm really happy with it. Hopefully you guys check out their website, whether you want this specific cosplay or a different one. They have a large variety, and if the rest of their cosplays are as nice of a quality as this one is, then I think it's worth it. By the way, before I move on to that final clip, I should mention the price. The price of this cosplay was $95-ish. I think it's great. It's a $100 cosplay and it feels like a really nice $100 cosplay. So yeah, for $95, I think that makes sense. It comes with a lot, like everything you need, and there's a lot of accessories to their costume. Alright, now I will cut to the final clip where you can see this on, but if you want like a full overview, I will have photos again posted on my social media for that, and that is all linked down below. So this is what it looks like when it is all put together. I just got done taking photos, so this is the completed look. Yeah, so overall I really like the quality of this cosplay. I think the design that's printed on here is really nice, and I like that it's like printed into the fabric, or it is the fabric, like it's not printed on top, so it's not going to peel off or anything like that. I think it's sewn fairly well as well. Again, the only downside is that these orbs are very squishy. I feel like these could be made out of like a harder, more sturdy plastic material and it would make it even better, but it's not too bad. Like you can blow them back up and there might be little dents here and there, but nothing too noticeable, especially from a distance. I think it's a really good price. It's not too expensive, but it's not super cheap, and it doesn't feel super cheap either, which is good. I think it's super cute. I like it. I think it's really well made. So thanks so much RoleCosplay for sending me this cosplay. Again, if you guys are interested at all at purchasing anything off of their website, I do have a discount code which is for 12% off, and the code is Arlena. And I'll also have this information down below, as well as a link to this cosplay and their website. The link is a referral link, so if you use that link, it just helps support this channel and my cosplaying and more tutorials and reviews and things like that. But yeah, one more time, thanks so much RoleCosplay for sending me this cosplay. It's super cute. I love it. Let me know what you guys think about it, and if you want to see photos of this cosplay, it will be over on my Instagram and eventually on my website as well. All of my social media and website is linked down in the description below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Thanks for watching, and bye! It's like there's this, there's the hat, there's her earrings, her... Hey look, the hat fell off!